Maya.
Good morning.
Good early morning. And good Saturday. I almost said happy Saturday. Good to see everybody. Welcome to H&D Abroad. I'm Herman.
I'm Dee, and we are continuing to do our exploration by talking to other families who have moved abroad. That is the focus of our channel, H&D Abroad, which is documenting the steps that we're taking, the big ones and the small ones, and sharing with you our research and the folks that we're meeting along the way. So if that content is interesting to you, we are looking at Thailand today, but we have explored a variety of countries on our channel. And so feel free we invite you to like this video, to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell, because sometimes we go live a little bit early like we're doing today.
Correct.
So thank you, Sam. Thank you, Francis, for joining today. So what I want to do is tee off this conversation with, y'all know I have a couple of places in the world that have had my heart for a little while. And 2019, we booked travel to Thailand for our 20th anniversary. And then the pandemic changed those plans. But we've continued to pursue information and get really up close to what it would be like if we chose Thailand as our place. For me, Thailand's affordability and just the people. We had students when we were teaching English online that were from Thailand, and just their inviting nature and beauty and the way that they eat. And I think just the culture was a draw for me. And I think, I don't mind being on the road.
Well, I've actually always been drawn to, and I don't know if I've said that to you before, but
Right.
I've always been kind of drawn to parts of the Asian culture. I think there's a strong draw between the Asian culture and the African culture. I think we have a strong history together. And I think it's why a lot of us are drawn to areas in Asia, Southeast Asia in particular. So it's always been on the general visitation interest list. When she said move there, I was like, that's a long way away. But it's become an ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
We have our two youngest, our sons are anime
and daughter.
Well, I guess
I was going to say all three of them.
I guess all three of them are deep into the Asian culture at some point in time. I told my daughter she eats any more ramen noodles, she's going to flip over. But we are excited to have our guest here today, and we're going to bring them in to the studio. Take the mood off first, if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
We're here.
So go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then we'll jump into the conversation.
You first. All right. I'm Raymond. Raymond Bryant. That's it.
What do you do?
Oh, what do I do? I'm a children's therapist working remotely in the U.S.
Cool.
And I'm Shy Bivia, known on the, social media as Shy Bivia. And I'm a wife to Raymond and a mom. Our baby boy is about to turn 1 on Monday. So that's crazy to think that we are about to have a 1-year-old. But it's been a blessing, and, it's been an awesome journey. I am a full-time entrepreneur. And yeah, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not all, but that's all I'll, share right now.
Yeah, let's see. So, Shaibivia, I put a link to your channel that you shared in Exodus Summit in the description of the video and in our community post. But you shared that you all were moving, and I was like, you got your husband to move. So that was kind of my, I'm always curious about what gets you interested, but then that's one thing. But what motivates you individually and you as a couple to say, we're doing okay in the US or we could do better somewhere else? What was that process like for the two of you?
Yeah. You mean like how did I get him on board or
Absolutely.
okay. So that's a good question. Now, when we met, when him and I met, I was a flight attendant at that time, right? And I was still Air Force reservist and everything. And so we got married really fast. Just a quick backstory on that. So we got married really, really quickly. And immediately we just started traveling because he knew that I had a love for travel. I was always traveling and everything. And so we would always travel places. And it was just a part of our lifestyle, traveling. And, in 2022, I decided to quit my flight attendant job. That's something that I thought about for an entire year. I was over it, long story with that, but it's not always as glamorous as people, make it out to be. And so I thought about quitting for about a year. Then I decided to officially quit in 2022 to pursue full-time entrepreneurship. Like my businesses were, growing, was doing great. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's time. And so when I quit that, it was a month after, right? Like a month after I quit, we decided to take a month-long trip to Southeast Asia. So we went to Bali first, and we stayed in Bali for a month, the max that we could stay with that initial
Tourist
visa. Yeah, the one that you get when you upon arrival, right? So we went there, and then after that, we went to Thailand. We came here we stayed for about a week or so. Yeah, and it was just incredible. The experience was just incredible. And at that point in my life, I've been to a lot of countries, a lot of countries, a lot of cities and everything. But there was something about Bali in particular, right? There was something about Bali and also Thailand. We came to Bangkok first. So I've never been a city person, right? I've never been a city person. I don't like New York. You can't pay me to live there, Chicago. But there's something about Bangkok. It's there's peace in the midst of the chaos, or it's just a good chaos, And so we just fell in love. We fell in love with the people, the food, everything. And we thought, we could live here, at least the region. We were torn between Bali and Bangkok, Thailand, but we were we could move to this part of the world. So I think that's where it started. That's where that seed was planted to say, let's consider one day moving here. But we kind of put it on the back burner, I would say, for a couple of years until early this year.
Yeah.
Early 2024. We were with how the US is going, we're done. I was checked out. He can tell you. And we'll probably get into that. I was complete. I've been checked out.
I can see it. I can see it on his face.
Yeah, so that's my side of the story.
Go ahead.
No. I know you are chomping at the bit to ask Raymond what was going.
Yeah.
What's going on in your mind as you're traveling?
What often happens, Raymond, is there's we've interviewed a variety of couple interactions at this point, and a lot of them are what we just heard. She was like, I've had enough. How would you define where you in the process? It sounds like you all were, and it was great to hear in a collectively in a traveling mindset.
Mhm.
And I have found that is conducive to husbands in particular who haven't traveled before.
True.
Often husbands who are military and whatever, they're often the ones who say, hey, we're moving abroad. But I have found that traveling, seeing the world, has been more conducive to Black husbands in particular saying, this might be of interest. How did this process flow for you? Where were you in the mindset? And you're watching the transition of your wife, how she's being affected by whatever her stresses are. You're looking at the economy, you're looking at your job status, you're looking at what money looks like for you.
Safety.
Which those are two things you talk about together, but you evaluate differently as a man and as a husband. So what was the process from your perspective?
I would say the process was actually it was easy and hard at the same time. Like, it was easy for me to consider moving to Bali and Bangkok because we had traveled here before and I had loved it so much that I was like, I can see it happening. But at the same time, of course, like you said, I was thinking about, okay, finances, safety. When we go over there, is everything going to be good? If something happens, like, how do I make sure everything is solved? Because at the end of the day, I'm still the man of the house. I have to make sure everything's in order. And so those are things that were constantly going through my mind. But I think just seeing, I guess, her peace with moving kind of just made me eventually just say, you know what, I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to just see, move over there and just see how it works. And I got to say, so far, I've loved it here. I loved it when I came here before, and I've even loved it more now being here and being able to just see everything more and be able to explore more.
Okay, so let's do a time of reference for those watching. How long have you? Yeah. Where exactly are you, and how long have you been there?
We're in Phrakanang, Bangkok, and we have been here since early October.
Yeah,
the first week of October. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that leads us being a young.
Oh, no, September. It's September because we came here September 23rd. I'm losing track of like the dates.
Yeah, I just know we left the U.S. in August. We left the U.S. in August and stayed in Bali for about a month, and then we went to Jakarta, and then from Jakarta we came here. So
yeah, it was the 23rd of September that we came to Bangkok. Yeah.
All right. So then you're a young couple with a almost 1-year-old, you said.
Yes.
So family had something to say. You're leaving, you're young, where you're going, you're taking the grandbaby. What was that transition conversation?
Yeah. Our family dynamics is
difficult.
Different from, I guess I would say, most people's dynamics. And to be honest, that's one of the reasons why maybe it was such an easy decision for us, because we didn't feel like, I guess I can say, we didn't feel like anyone really would be affected that much, because it's really just been my husband and I since we've had our baby. So, and not to blame anyone or, right. It's just our dynamics. So we were living in Texas, and, we kind of have family all over the place, from North Carolina, New Jersey, Jamaica. And so, everybody has their own things going on and all that. So we don't have high expectations for people and anything like that. And so that's one of the reasons, to be honest with you, why we decided to move abroad, because we felt like we could better have support, at least higher help, because we didn't have that help and support, unfortunately, like from family in the US. So it was simple. It didn't make a difference living here than living in Dallas, or if we were even still in New Jersey, because we moved from New Jersey in 2021 to Dallas, Texas in 2021. So
I think the toughest thing was friends, because we had established friends in Texas that we were close with, and so that was
from church and everything.
That was the toughest part, more than family, because telling them and but seeing that they were still supportive of it as well, just saying like, we're gonna miss you guys, but you got to do what's right for your family and what you feel is right for you. And so that was nice to just have their support. And so with that, it kind of felt a little easier. We're still in contact with them, of course, but that whole transition piece made it easier having their support as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're saying, Shavivia, you're saying something that I think a lot of us take for granted, whether you are a grandparent or a parent, is what's the reality of your situation? When I think back, we lived in the same city as my parents, and I don't think that I saw them any more often than I did when we moved 2 hours away. And so, I mean, there is my grandbaby is going to be, and I'm like, I'm more likely to see you just as many times if, I lived, 13 time zones, different than you. And so kind of looking at what the reality of the thing is, you brought forward, I think I may have shared that I'm a birth and postpartum doula. And so I love that you centered, I can hire help. We can have I can be fully present for my son if I have a little bit more help. Or I can be more emotionally, physically available to my spouse because I'm not tired. I'm not, there's the possibility, there's so many more possibilities to integrate more of a work-life balance. And to be able to center those needs when affordability, is increased. So I loved hearing those parts of your story. You could have gone, when I'm thinking about where a lot of people are going, 2 hours from the US, 4 hours from the US, 6 hours when you think about Europe, or 7 hours some places in Africa. But this is farther than most people are considering. What was helpful in just choosing? Were you choosing a place? How did you prioritize this area versus others?
Well, with how the U.S. is going, I want it to be as far away from the U.S. as possible. Okay, maybe I'd be a little bit too dramatic, honestly, but
no, that don't sound dramatic. So like you did exactly what you meant. You said exactly what you meant.
Yeah, so that is also the truth. But I mean, I couldn't really see myself in like parts of Europe, at least not right now. Like to travel to visit, like Portugal is still on our list and stuff like that. We've been to Mexico like quite a few times. We love Mexico. We love Mexico as well. So that was kind of like in our, we thought about that as well. But it's just something about this part of the world. What I love about like this part of the world is there's so many other, Asian countries that it's easy to access as well. It's very affordable. It's easier to travel to other Asian countries that we also still have on our bucket list as well. And we just love so much about Thailand and, this part of the world that it just made sense. We just couldn't see ourselves like in any part of Europe really right now. And I didn't really want to go anywhere where there's a chance of it being cold. I'm not, I don't like the cold at all. I was born and raised in Jamaica actually. And so I like this weather. It gets really hot here, but I can deal with the hot. So I'd rather be hot than, be cold. So that was also a decision, that was also a factor. And I love just being able to get fresh coconuts and, fresh cut fruit and stuff like that. I just love the lifestyle here. Yeah, it's amazing.
How's the humidity?
Yeah, because you said you all arrived in August, September. So yeah.
I'm from Florida. So, You know, humidity is off my list. How's the humidity?
Yeah, it can be humid. Apparently, it's cool now. It's like the cool season apparently
It's the
now.
perfect time
So
to be
it's
there.
like for a couple evenings we felt like cool breeze, which has been really nice. So I guess we'll see when it gets hotter. How that goes.
But you do got to bring a change of clothes sometimes, because if you're walking a lot, you do tend to sweat a lot.
Hmm. Yeah, it gets really hot
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just being
this is.
outside.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was saying just the second you walk outside, go up some stairs, it's
Yeah, you can
you're
feel it.
sweating. It's like as a woman, it's like no point wearing makeup really. But I guess the locals, their body has become acclimated,
Accustomed,
I guess,
yeah.
or adjusted to the climate where they're out in their makeup. They look beautiful all day in the heat. They're not sweating, but it's gonna take us some time to get used to that.
Yeah.
So let's use that as a jump point to a small question. A lot of times when people are talking about where they live and how they're choosing how they live, the have tos become a part of the conversation. So I asked the question about humidity, and you're telling me how hot it is. How easy is it to get? I see Greta as the air conditioning in residences, so that you can balance that when you're inside. How easy is it to get that as a part of apartment or house living?
Oh, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I think it's a standard here.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
apartment and thing, like the
And
place that we stay
houses.
in now has an AC in every room and on every floor. So we can, and they're individual, so you can turn them on and off. It's not like central
Mini
AC where,
split.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah. So I don't
Mhm.
have to, I don't have to turn the AC on just to cool the upstairs, and the downstairs is freezing. So I can just turn it on where I want, and saves electricity as well. But a lot of condos and stuff come with it. Also, they come furnished too, so that was also a thing that we loved when we moved over here. We didn't have to bring a lot of furniture.
We didn't have to bring any
Yeah, we
furniture.
actually didn't have to bring any. Even this couch right now that we're sitting in was already here. So
Yeah.
and the TV,
Beautiful.
of course, like a lot of things were already included. So we were like, well, this is good for us, so we don't have to bring anything. So that's why we sold everything.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see. I wanted to quickly ask while Herman is bringing up the some of the questions. So a great time of year to visit when the weather is more comfortable is like the September, October.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have asthma, and so I know that I do. If we would choose Thailand, that I would have to leave during the primary burning season, which is late January
December.
through
Yeah.
maybe early April. And
Mhm.
so, are you all considering how did you consider whether possible, a pollution and other things as you're, especially with a baby, you've got a few other or extreme heat, which once you get into June, July, August, I mean, it's like I go out at night, that kind of thing. How are you considering adjusting your life or the needs of your toddler in how you move and where you moved?
Yeah. Honestly, we didn't consider that a lot, in regards to like the burning season and all of that. Yeah, I did hear about that. I've heard about that quite a bit, like the December, January burning season.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm thinking though that because we plan on leaving every maybe around 5 to 6 months or so, really quickly, just because even though we have a long-term 5-year visa, that visa still requires you to kind of leave
Yeah.
every 6 months or
There's an
so.
exit. I didn't realize there was an exit requirement with that visa. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can request an extension for another 6 months and technically stay for an entire year without having to like leave if you want though. But we plan to
Yeah.
maybe like leave every 6 months or so.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It depends on how things go. Like if we find that it really affects us, I'm really hoping that it doesn't, honestly, like that much, like how I've heard people talk about it. I don't know the extent of it because we've never stayed here during like the burning season before. So this will be our first time. So
Yeah, but if we do feel like it's something that we can't deal with, then we can always just, you know,
We'll go to
travel to
Bali
another
or
Asian
something.
country for
A
like
a lot of
$30 a
people
ticket. So
a lot of people go to Vietnam during that time. So yeah, I wanted to hear if you had kind of started looking at that because one of the things that you mentioned was the ability to move at a low cost. To when I say move, I mean as in the travel is affordable, and so you could. There are lots of places to visit temporarily in the area.
Okay,
right,
so
yeah. So and Vietnam is actually on our list too. So we've actually talked about that. We're open to like staying there for like a month, a couple months here and there.
or Malaysia or the
Malaysia,
Philippines.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll probably be traveling to different parts.
let's see. Let's share some of the comments and questions here. We have one that I guess Raymond's directly towards you. Is that how is it going with you meeting? I know you all been there a short time, but other black men in the area.
Oh, it has been difficult. I haven't really connected with any other black men. I think when we went to the weekend market today, I saw more than I've ever seen before, but it's been really difficult. And so I have been actually trying to look at starting like a kind of a community like Black Expats in Bangkok or something like that. Because it just seems that there's not a lot of Black expat groups. Because like for example, in Bali, they have a group called Black in Bali. And so they have a WhatsApp group and they have a Facebook page and a website. And it's easier to connect over there. And so I want the same thing over here. And so I said, if this is going to be my long-term home, then I might as well just start it. So
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that and let you know how easy it's been after I've launched everything.
Definitely.
I'll make sure I share. There are. Well, I'm an admin for the Black and Southeast, East and Southeast Asia group.
Okay.
There are Black expat groups in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Pattaya, and Jomtien. So I'll make sure that I share those resources with you so you can make sure you connect. Because yeah, we apping it up. So that you can find connection and where folks are meeting up, because I think they do like Sunday dinner in
Okay.
Bangkok. So yeah.
Nice.
That would be cool to go
Yeah.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be nice. We were talking about that a couple of days ago. Like, turn it on. He's like moving. Sorry, that's our baby boy. He's just sleeping. But we're just watching him on the monitor. We were talking about that the other day. I was saying that I know we've been focused on like getting here, getting settled, getting baby boy stuff taken care of, make sure that we feel at home and stuff.
Find a nanny. Everything.
Yeah. And so we were like, okay, I think it's time for us to start finding groups that we can connect with. And
yeah, because everything's in place now. So
yeah.
I see Sam here is sharing that, one of her reasons for moving abroad is to getting help with the kids in general. So, you all talked about, getting help with your 1-year-old. How has that process been? What was the connection there?
Yeah. So she said okay. First of all, I have to say that I am truly grateful. Like every day, I tell my husband, since we've been able to find help and an incredible nanny, I'm grateful for the support that we have. And it's interesting because I know that for a lot of people, for some reason, a lot of people will try to shame moms or parents for, getting some type of help, nanny and all of that. But it's nothing to shame someone about, especially when it's so common, like daycares are so common, right? For us, we prefer to have our baby boy in his
his environment,
You know,
one-on-one
his
support.
environment, that one-on-one support, you know,
Mhm.
we're at home too a lot of times, so we're with him, you know, as well. So but having that additional support has just made things so much better for us, like I can't even say. So first of all, I had to share that. Number two, uh the affordability of being able to hire help, it's just amazing. Of course, when you're talking about currency arbitrage, right? Like earning, if you're earning money from either the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, you know, those parts of the world, it's very affordable. So that's number two. Number three, there were somebody, you were asking, how was that process with getting that help?
Mhm.
So we looked at the options prior to coming here, and one of the options was a site called Kidu or Kidu,
Yeah, one
Kidu,
of
like
the-
Kiidu. That's an amazing platform. It's kind of like an agency. So on that platform, you can find nannies. You can find, if you want a chef, if you want a cleaner, maid, whichever, you can find them on there. Also, Facebook. There are a lot of Facebook groups actually where you can hire nannies and whichever, and people will post their experiences and all of that. There's so much actually. We ended up we did interview someone from the Kidu platform.
Mhm.
Um,
But we didn't feel
yeah,
comfortable.
we didn't feel good about that, and so
Mhm.
we just
We-
hired ourselves from.
Yeah, joined one of the Facebook groups, made a post, and then we met, in person with the nanny who's we have now, and she's just been amazing.
She's
Like
been
our son loves her. He loves having
she's
fun with her.
yeah. She's been God sent, man. Like, and she does more. What I love about the work ethics with people here. Well, technically, she's not really. She wasn't born in Thailand. She was born in, I think, connecting country. Where?
Yeah.
I think I don't remember where, but anyway, she's been here for a very long time, like over 15 years, and so she does more than what you know we require. Like,
Yeah, when he's taking a nap, she cleans up the entire house. I did
yeah,
not expect that at all.
I know.
We were so set on when we hired nanny, she has to just be for our son. Don't do anything else. I'm just going to clean up real quick, and then she cleans the entire house, and I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, and that's something that I thought about, like, oh, I'll probably get a cleaner like for once a week or something like that. But I'm like, honestly, I don't have to now, really, because she loves she loves doing that too. So yeah, to answer the question about finding, I guess, a nanny, right? Yeah, you can check out Facebook groups. We can possibly share some. I don't remember the names, the exact names of them. I think one is called Hire Staff or Nanny Staff, something like that, Bangkok or something like that. But there are tons. If you just go to Facebook groups and you type in nanny or hire a nanny in Facebook, there are some really great groups there. And you can interview these people. And I mean, I would say a lot of people are trustworthy, but I mean, you can in regards to the agencies, they do their own like background checks, like medical checks, stuff like that, on all of that. So, I mean, if you prefer to do that, you can do that. If you go the Facebook route, you can still request that from your nanny, like certain medical stuff if they're open to that, and like a background check or something.
So a follow-up question here is what is that cost for the cost of a nanny?
The cost of
General costs.
Yeah. So that can vary. What we've seen, the standard is about like 15,000 baht. Yeah, which is about
450.
Yeah, I guess depending on the currency, but that's about like 450 to like
USD.
500 US dollars. I would say like a full-time nanny, it depends. It can go up to maybe
20,000 baht.
20, 25, 30,000. Depends on how, like, it depends on the hours, like how long you want your nanny. Yeah, it's really like anything between like 15 to 25,000 baht. So that's about 500 US dollars to about
700.
Yeah, or like a full time nanny.
Mhm.
Even though you can probably get a live-in nanny too for
Yeah, you can.
$700 too. About that.
Wow.
Mhm.
Is that a monthly
Yeah.
cost?
Yeah,
It's
that's
monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And
I
full time meaning like Monday through Sunday, or maybe one day off, or it depends on how you structure your nanny's days off and stuff like that. But that's
Mhm.
like standard, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
what I realized was that, outside of, you know, the UK, the US, and Canada, hiring help for the family, for the children, for your household is normal. Like we're the only ones in the world that are like, we can do it all ourselves, and you've got to be rich and famous to get help. So,
Yeah,
but
that's so true. At one point in my life, yeah, honestly,
But when we were in
I felt
Jakarta, we saw that people who had regular jobs, like working at convenience stores and things, when they were walking with their children, they had nannies. And I'm just like, it's a standard over here that you hire a nanny because not a lot of people are comfortable with daycare. And so that's why I was like, okay, I love that aspect of it, that even like normal working people are like, I need to hire a nanny for help. So
mhm.
yeah. And I at one point when I was in one of the malls in Jakarta, I believe, that's another thing too. What I love about the Southeast Asia is they make like children, families, nursing moms, expecting moms a priority.
Yes.
It's such a priority here. Like every mall that I go to, there are actual nursing rooms and separate changing rooms separately from the bathroom. So you're not expected to always go into the female bathroom to change your baby, but they have designated like rooms, that can fit an entire family, can fit sometimes 4 or 5 women who are like nursing, stuff like that. That's what I love about it. And anyway, I was speaking with a lady when I was changing or baby in one of the changing rooms, and she had her mom with her, she had her nanny, and we were just having conversation because we're changing our babies like side by side in the nursery room. And she was telling me how it's the standard there.
Mhm.
It's the standard there to have a nanny, to have help. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, Sam is sharing also that she's from Benin and Africa, and nannies and chauffeurs are a way of life.
Yeah.
Where
Wow.
here in North America, she says it's a luxury. That's
Yeah.
the truth. You got a nanny,
Yeah.
you big deal. You got a nanny here. Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
More daily life questions.
Greta is asking again, where in Thailand are you living?
We are living in Bangkok, Thailand.
yeah.
Okay.
Bangkok, yeah.
And you chose Bangkok. Why?
You want to answer that, or?
Well, I know I had chosen it because I was looking at, of course, me thinking about safety. I was looking at medical things and travel. Do we need a car to get around, those things? And so when I looked at Bangkok when we were here, they have the BTS, which is the sky train to get around. They have the MRT, the subway. We have noticed that we can get on let's call it tuk-tuk here. It's like a little personal bike or whatever that can, no, it's not a bike. It's more like a bus that's open. We can take that down the street for $1, which is, less than $1. It's like 20 baht, but we can get anywhere we want down the street easily. And so that's what I was looking at when I wanted to move to Bangkok, like the affordability of being able to get around, and then also the medical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me at first, it was, the accessibility to things, the transportation. I didn't really want us to, I was already open to the fact that we weren't going to have a car, at least. And I actually didn't want a car, at least for the first part of moving, because I wanted to be more active. If I'm being honest, I wanted to be out more, walk more. That was actually a big part of our decision to move abroad. And so it was very important for us to move somewhere where the transportation is
Got a little bit of a freeze delay.
Yeah. And also, Yeah, that was a big thing, and
Is
medical
that
too
hard?
as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, when we did our research, like Bangkok has like some of the best and prestigious like medical facilities.
Mhm.
Like even yesterday, we haven't been to the hospital here yet, but we've done our research and all of that, and we've heard how people talk about like the medical facilities. And was it yesterday we went to the
Yes,
dentist?
it
Yeah,
was
yesterday
yesterday.
we went to the dentist, and it was just immaculate. Like even the dentist, his what he was wearing, his coat, it's almost like he just pulled it out of uh I don't know. It was immaculate. It was like spotless, clean. And for every visit, I think they charge you for sanitation or something like that. And I could see that money actually goes to good use. And sanitation is only like 300 baht, which is like I think like $9 US. So like consultation and stuff is free, but they charge for the consultation. And they really do seem like they put it to good use. Like everything is clean. Yeah, so that's what I love about um, Bangkok.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, that's one of the main reasons why we chose here is because of like medical and
Mhm.
transportation, easy access to stuff. And at first, I was thinking that we would get a condo. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was thinking that we would get a condo, and I wanted to be able to just go to the gym, walk downstairs to the gym, and baby boy is sleeping, stuff like that. Go downstairs to like the 7. Um, uh, we didn't end up moving into a condo,
Yeah.
but
We're in a townhouse,
yeah,
which has been so much better
Which is-
because we
which
have
has-
more space.
yeah, it's been better actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some things that I've noticed in common is Shabivia said, I didn't want a car. I have yet to hear a husband say, I did not want a car. Even if they get on board, I have yet to hear a husband say, I don't want a car. I think driving is a part of we love to drive.
But not in Bangkok.
No, I'm not.
Not in Mexico City.
Well, I mean, and I mean, we make adjustments because of that. But not having a car and not wanting to drive are not the same thing.
Oh, that's true.
And they're not saying I didn't want to drive here. They're saying I didn't want a car.
Yeah.
Which is a different approach to moving about the city. And I've yet to hear a husband say I didn't want a car. They don't mind the transportation. They don't mind walking. They've had to adjust to what do you want to say? The city moves like this, and oh yeah, I don't want to drive in this, but that's not their first frame of reference is I don't want a car.
The thing, I'm sorry, it
Go ahead.
punked out.
Uh-oh.
The thing froze. I don't know if it were in or your end. So
yeah, you froze on our side. I wasn't sure. Yeah. No, I was just saying that's been a common is that part about driving. And I guess the other part has been about the living. I think a lot of wives have been looking at housing, what a house is going to look like, what differently than husbands. And then finding that balance and hearing you find that balance, that's just great to hear you address that. Let's see. Okay, so question from
he
Servant.
loves to walk, so it was perfect. He loves walking.
And I think that's been a thing. I think even people who haven't naturally loved walking have grown into because where you're walking to, there's always something, there's always movement, there's always access.
Mhm.
Where if I'm walking here, if I walk down my street, I'm walking into the country. I'm not reaching anything. There's no stores within walking distance. There's nothing.
How close?
There's always activity here.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what Greta mentioned Isaiah Ashley, which I've been watching him for over a year, well over a year. But how close is a 7-Eleven from you?
It's a 7-minute walk. I timed it when I walked there before. So I've timed both because there's two from we can go either direction. So I've timed both. They're a 7-minute walk. So I can get there within 7 minutes. Because I wanted to tell her that it wasn't far because the GPS says it's gonna take 14 minutes to get there. I'm like, it doesn't look 14 minutes. And so I just took it and it was 7 minutes.
Yeah. And it's like by the time we get out of here, it's about Yeah.
Yeah, he's basing that on a young man's stride, ladies and gentlemen. He's he's not taking the Bangkok stroll. He's taking the young man's stride. All right, you got a question here. Does Thailand have issues with power outages?
Not, we haven't experienced any. No, they haven't
I
really.
think, well, it's Thailand. Well, I guess it depends on the part of Thailand.
Yeah.
But I know Bangkok. I mean, we haven't dealt with any outages.
No, we haven't.
Also, I mean, it's been raining a lot. I think they've
fixed a lot. I
Yeah,
mean, but we are
they've
by major things, like we're by a big mall and also a hospital, so that could also be a reason. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe we're on the hospital grid as well, but
yeah, we haven't experienced any type of
no power outages,
even with like heavy rainfall and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
it's
Thankfully,
raining
so
heavy
hopefully-
now, so
Yeah,
nothing's
hopefully
happening.
it stays that way.
Yeah, I'm mentioning, I'm glad that Nikki's asking about the power outages because in Central and South America, we're kind of experiencing some of that, as well as water shortages as well. So
No.
are you all impacted by water shortages in Bangkok?
No. Mm-mm.
No.
And we were lucky
No.
that the house that we are staying in now is connected to one of the, well, the landlord said it was like one of the best water filters that you can get in Thailand. So we do have like clean water that we can use downstairs if we really need to, but we still buy water, of course. But there's been no shortages or anything, because even when you're ordering water or you ordering it for delivery or going to go pick it up, you can only buy a max of like 2 of each kind of water because they want to make sure that everyone gets it. So they kind of ration it out for everyone. So yeah, I've noticed that when I try to use Grab, which is like kind of like Instacart here, when you order stuff, you can only order 2 waters at a time. So
Which I don't like, because I was like, I'm trying to stack up just in case something happens, and so
Order a little bit every day, girl. That's
yeah,
that's my
it.
strategy is to stack up. Yeah.
Just get 2 every order.
exactly.
If let's see, so good question from Greta. Can you make any changes to the furniture? I'm concerned about the mattress. I don't like it to be too firm or too soft. So can you make changes? Can you make requests for maybe to have something removed, or can you ask for something different? So can you address that?
Yes, you can. Our landlord was when we first came here, she was asking, is there anything we wanted to take out or anything, so they're open to it. If you don't want something in there, they'll come and get people to come get it out, and you can switch it out and everything, so they're open to it. They understand that not everyone has the same taste. So
Yeah, and then they'll sometimes like add things for your comfort, like I know, or the mattress, it looks like they bought a brand new like topper or something like that.
And they also ordered deep cleaning, and they sent us
they
videos and pictures of when it was happening, like them deep steaming, sanitizing everything. So yeah, we knew that when we came here, it was gonna be clean.
Yeah,
so,
very clean.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good. Greta was mentioning the air purifiers, and that's definitely another thing. If we were there during the burning season, a lot of people tend to stay, indoors most of the day, but they also have air purifiers. So
that's something we should consider.
Yeah, I saw a lot of them today at the weekend market. So yeah, we'll actually look into getting those. That would be good. Didn't think
get them out of season.
Yeah,
Get them out of
before it
season.
gets in season.
Everyday living expenses. So you've talked about transportation, which is great. What's a typical, you're taking your family out for dinner. Can you kind of give a cost estimate for, maybe a white tablecloth fancy kind of dinner to, I'm going to go pick up something for lunch?
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done like a fancy dinner, right? Here in Bangkok, I think.
Not really in Bangkok, but we've done like middle of the road type places and even street food. And so
We've done
Um,
some dining, some
yeah,
here dining. Yeah.
and it's not expensive at all. I think maybe the most we've ever spent, even with all like me and her both getting a lot of food, was maybe $20, maybe even less than that. I
Not
don't.
$20. I mean,
Yeah, because
$20.
because 1,000. We usually make sure like if it's 1,000 baht, that means it's $30, and we've
Yeah.
never actually gotten up that high. I think
Oh,
the
wow.
max we've ever spent is like 500 on food, and it's a lot of food. Like when we leave, we're full.
I would say honestly, most places that we go, it's about $4 or maybe $3 $4 per person.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
on average, on an everyday basis, unless we're maybe like really out getting like this type of drink, trying to try this food, that maybe will be close to $20. But on average, like lunch, dinner for both of us, it's usually maybe $9 in
Yeah.
total. That's usually the average that I see, especially like if we order from Grab or something like that.
Yep.
Or we're like at True Digital Park grabbing like lunch or something. It'll be maybe $3
Yeah.
$4 per
Yeah.
person.
It's not a lot.
So yeah. And if you really want to, honestly, if you really want to, you can get a solid meal for like $1.50 or $2 in an AC establishment, really. Not even street food, of course, definitely.
Like a clean establishment
yeah.
that looks like it got a good food grade. About $1.50. And you don't got to go to the rundown if you don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So it really depends on what you want to spend. But as an individual, single person, I feel like you can easily have a budget per day of maybe $9 maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is
or
that
less.
so? Are you all primary eating out? Are you eating at home? What is the
We're eating at
grocery?
home. Yeah, we're
What's the
eating at home
grocery
too. And so
shopping? Yeah.
I've actually compared that.
Ordering food
Okay,
and
well,
eat at
we've
home,
been
but
eating,
not cooking.
but I have cooked some. Don't make me look like I ain't been cooking.
Okay, he
So
cooked a couple times.
I've been comparing those bills. So when I order groceries to, because our son, we make all his food ourselves. And so when I ordered a lot of groceries like kale, watermelon, everything that he eats, and I filled up the fridge, it was only $30 to fill up the fridge completely with everything. And when we used to do that in Texas, we were looking at $170 every 2 weeks. And so now I'm looking at $60 every 2 weeks. So and the fridge is full. And even if I don't order it for delivery, I can still take a 5-minute ride down to the market and get it even cheaper if I wanted to. So, and that's what I've been doing lately, is going down to the market. We usually try to go to the market on Saturday mornings,
Mhm.
and we just stock up on everything we need, and it never comes up to more than $30.
Yeah, it's so much more affordable here. Like we love going down to the market. I mean, you can get a whole bunch of garlic, stuff like that for like 10 baht. It's barely,
Which is less than $1.
maybe 50 cents or something
Yeah.
like that. Like you can get so much more food here for less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We never spend more than like $35 at the market for a whole bunch of stuff: pumpkin, potatoes,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of veggies. Like it's amazing. Fruits, dragon fruit. In the US, dragon fruit is,
Oh my
what cost you?
gosh.
Maybe at least $6-7 maybe for one dragon fruit or something like that.
Dragon fruit here is
Yellow,
30 baht, which is $1
the
for
yellow,
really
the yellow
good one.
and the red. Yeah.
Are you finding foods that you desire, that you, or are you having to adjust to new types of food and learning what's the food challenge? Because everybody has a food taster. I'm an adventurer, so the more variety of things that there are in the world is great for me. But I know some people are kind of acclimated to, this is what I eat, and so when they go places, say, well, they don't have this, they don't have that. How's that adjustment for you?
It's been an easy adjustment. They've had everything that we always ate, fruits and veggies. Like there's never been, well, there are different fruits now that we have been trying, like rambutan, I believe is one.
Mhm.
What's the other? There's another one called snake skin or something.
Yeah.
But they still have all the regular fruits and veggies that you would eat in the U.S. Just some extra ones if you want to be adventurous and try them.
Yeah, I don't have, yeah, and I can't speak for him, but like for me, I'm not like a big like junk food type of person. Like I love my like fresh food and stuff like that, and I've always loved Thai food. Well, we actually both love Thai food.
Yeah.
100.
So yeah, that's been amazing to be in Thailand and
Yeah.
get to enjoy, like, you know.
Yeah, I'm waiting to take some cooking classes so I can learn more. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say it hasn't been a tough adjustment with adjusting to the food here.
Mhm.
I actually love the freshness and love the fact that a lot of the fruits and veggies are like locally sourced, like from
Mhm.
like local markets. You know, we get it farm to take. You know, basically, I guess farm to market to table. I guess.
What about self-care? So have you found a barber, Raymond?
Mm.
Oh,
So I
that's a good
have.
question.
So in Bali, I did find one. He was called Mr. Tonto. He was good. She was a little nervous about the way the haircut started, but he did great. Now here in Bangkok, we went to one barber shop. They had multiple barbers, and when we walked in there one day, there was a guy that was really confident that he could do it. And so I wish I would have got it cut with him that day, because we went back 2 days later and there was a different one. And the haircut is good, but it's not.
This is the haircut. It's still.
Yeah, it's not like the best. So I'm gonna keep looking.
It's
I'm
a
thinking,
haircut. It's a haircut, but it's not a black barber haircut.
yeah. That's
I
but
ain't going.
he
Ain't no man no
understood
pulling
what a fade
punches.
was. Like he understood what a fade was. He understood the concept of it. It's just like getting it right was, I don't know, just a little difficult for him. But I'm gonna keep trying. I'm pretty sure. Like if I go back with that first guy that I met, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to do it correctly.
He tried though.
Yeah, it's just that he bring the scissors out and it's a little uneven at the top.
Yeah, they don't understand, bro.
Cost-wise, what was that? And then I'm going to Shibivia. I'm gonna get into the hair, the braids, the nails, the manicure, pedicure. So, what was your haircut and beard shaping? What was that?
Yep.
What was that cost
300.
like?
It was 350 baht, so I believe that's $9. What about 10, 11 US dollars? Which to me was a huge difference because I'm used to paying 65. So
yes, sir.
I love that. I love that difference.
Yes, sir.
I feel like now I can get my hair cut every week rather than waiting every 2 weeks when the paycheck hits.
Yeah. Once I decided to cut this off, I go to the barber occasionally just for my boy to just put some lotion on my head and clean my beard up. It's still $40. So yeah. So I understand.
Yeah. Shibivia?
Yes, ma'am. Oh.
Have you been able to find someone to braid your hair or style? I guess I should say style your hair, wash. Do you get the full treatment, facials? Get your nails done, pedicure, massage. What are you? Because that's what I hear, and that's what's a huge attractant to me is that I could go and get a massage every day for what I pay now, for one session. Talk about your self-care.
Yeah, so in regards to my hair, I'm pretty much I'm natural. I just wear my hair. So I have locks actually. Mm-hmm. And from the US, I've just been particular, so I don't really go to get my hair done. I do my hair myself at home, so that's always been something that I do. So I don't really pay for like hair stuff. But in regards to nails, like $15 US maybe, you can get a full pedicure with gel, pedicure, manicure the same. So maybe like for maybe $30 US total, you can get a full pedi, manicure, gel, all of that. Which is, I remember in the US, if I were to get a full pedi manicure, they're gonna charge me an additional $20, right, for the gel. So I'm paying like $40, $50 or something like that, depending on the package for the pedicure. And
Mhm.
because I want gel, it's an additional like $20,
Mhm.
stuff like that. So by the time I leave, I'm spending at least usually like $140 or something like that to get a full pedi manicure in the
Mhm.
US. It's $120 at least. Here, it's like no more than $30 really for a full pedi manicure. The other day, actually, 2 days ago, we went and got full body massages and facials. We're like, let's just get the facial, and they went in. It was amazing. They did the steaming, all of
Yeah.
that stuff, and
The
it was like,
suction, everything.
yeah, suction. I mean, it was amazing. It was like it came up to like a 1,100. Yeah,
Yeah, 1,100. So
it was
about,
like 1,100 Thai baht, which
about $33 for
30
both of us.
something dollars,
And the
that
massage was for an hour, and the facial was for an hour.
yeah, we both got massages and facials. Was it?
Yes,
Is that right?
yes, that's right.
No, wait.
Connect.
That's
Why
right.
was it 2,000?
No, it wasn't 2,000.
No, I think it was 1,900.
Okay.
Okay, no, when I checked it again, the account, it was like $59. It was $59 for in total for both of us to get an hour full body massage, Thai massages, and facials. In the US, there's no way.
Now massages are.
There's no way.
You can get like an hour massage for
Maybe at a local
200
type, maybe at a Thai place,
Yeah,
one
for-
of those Thai places.
for 250 baht, which is about $7 for an hour.
Oh no, I was talking about the US. My bad.
I'm
Sorry.
talking about Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Like a massage, you can get it for $7, $7 US. Yeah.
I've worried. I mean, my locks are waist length. And so I know I'm going to take product with me, but when I'm that far, I'm going to have to find either what I use or something local. So how have you been able to continue to care for your locks abroad?
Yeah. So I found a store walking this distance like close by that has like really nice herbal like shampoos, conditioners, stuff like that. It's definitely not what I'm used to using, but I'm like open to using the local products
You do?
because
You do use a lot of oils in your hair, which they have like the coconut
yeah,
oil.
so I do a lot of usually just like I'm not a big fan. I would say I'm not like big into different like products. This like I have to use this product, have to use that product. Really, I'm more like a oil person. So I'll use like castor oil, coconut oils,
sweet almond oil.
tea tree oil, stuff like that for my roots. Mostly is mostly what I use.
Mhm.
I mean, they pretty much have that here. They have like all those oils here. So for the most part, that works for me.
I have two questions before I roll back into the questions in the chat, because I think it's going to lead us to that. One is we talked about some of the general living costs. What about housing? Because that's always the biggest cost that people worry about. How ranges for housing in terms of
For
size of
families,
house-
I was going to say for
size,
family
yeah.
size, because I know Sandra from Lack to Legacy, she's in a 1-bedroom for $350. But when you have a family, and especially a little one that's getting ready to walk, you want more space. And it's
he's
2 adults. He needs to have his own bathroom. Like I just, there's certain things when you're a family you want to consider. What was kind of the price range for the places that you were looking at?
Yeah, so and that's one of the reasons too why after a while I was like, okay, maybe let's not do the condo thing. It's like they do have like 2 and 3 bedroom condos, but it's like still everything is
The living room was small.
yeah, the
That's what I was focusing
living
on.
room would be small, and I didn't want us to be too feel too confined, and especially with eventually hiring help, like that was one of our main things. We didn't want to feel like everybody's just like in this one space and stuff. And so when we looked at like condos and stuff, 2-3 bedrooms, we came across like maybe $800 to about maybe upwards and up to $1,500. But specifically, I guess we can talk about like or living setup, right?
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
So we have a 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, townhouse,
Three-story,
three stories.
yeah.
So we have 2 living rooms. We're in the second one now. The other living room is downstairs,
Which is mostly his play area. So
Yeah.
it's like perfect for us. Like he has his own, play learning
Mhm.
area, which is
and we
great.
pay
About 1,200.
$12.50 a month. So
Yeah, like US dollars.
mhm.
Yeah, it definitely was way more than what I wanted us to pay. I was set on $700 a month. Like I was set on that amount, but I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day,
Peace.
it's literally still going to be a fraction of what we used to pay in the
Yeah.
US. And we're getting like, bigger, nicer, better. And in addition to that, we have like 24-hour security. Like we have security like right on this street, like it's a gated community actually. It's gated and it's 24/7 security.
Mhm.
Like the security guards are posted 24/7 and with cameras on, the streets leading to our house and everything. So it's so secure. But Thailand, we feel so safe here anyway, where it doesn't even feel like we need all that security, but it's nice to have that though.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what we pay here, I mean, for what we get, it's amazing. And this home, like they really did good because I think they renovated everything. Like we have storage upon storage. Like we
Yeah.
don't need this much storage, but it's nice to have like all the storage that we have. It's just the little things, the nice little touches, the amenities, that comes with the place. So it's been nice. So
There
for like
are
Oh,
there
sorry.
are I'm sorry for interrupting. Go
No,
ahead.
it's okay.
No, you were good.
What we have noticed as we've taken a deeper dive is there's the benefit of being in Bangkok is you're at BKK, you're at the airport, the city where the airport is. For
Mhm.
those of us who are wanting to do more of the international flights between, we'd have to go to Bangkok. But the trade-off is Chiang Mai is very affordable. It's got many of the same amenities as Bangkok. It's just it is a smaller city, smaller head, what do you call that? Population
Mhm.
than Bangkok. So you don't feel as crowded. It's a lot, there's a lot more greenery and things like that. So
Yeah.
I'm encouraging people to take a look. I mean, there's the large cities, but then, I mentioned Jomtien and Pattaya. That's on the eastern side. But there are a lot of places, farther down that are closer to Malaysia. So if you're not a geography buff, become one when you are considering moving abroad, because the options and opportunities there for whether it's being in the city, being in a more rural setting can also impact transportation access, cost of housing, and things like that.
Mhm.
But like I said, Isaiah Ashley, there are a couple of people that we follow in the Bangkok area that have just made me say, affordable is really up to you.
Mhm.
And so, like you said, if you're comparing it to what you pay in the US, that's one thing. If you're saying, I have a budget, I'm not going to, I want to live in the world somewhere where I could spend $1,000 and have a good, comfortable life. You will find that in numerous places in Thailand, especially, and also in Southeast Asia. And so that's what I'm hoping that you all are hearing that this couple is sharing.
So you told us how much it costs to live. How are you paying for it? What's your when people talk about when you're not retired, you're looking at employment, you're looking at work. How are you funding your life? I heard you
Mhm.
talk about entrepreneurial businesses. I heard you talk about online work. You mind sharing a little more about that?
Yeah, for me, so I'll start by saying this. Hubby's income is the one that is more consistent, right? More stable. With entrepreneurship, your income fluctuates, right? You have great months, good months, and then you have not so great months or seasons, right? For Raymond, he's a full-time mental health therapist, and so we, for a while actually, we've tried to live our lives in such a way where we are able to. So we've trained ourselves to do that for a while, where we're able to live from just one income, just in case. So that's how we've lived for a while, where we're able to live off one income. And so
yeah, and I work remotely out of the US. That's one of the things for the visa that we actually have, is that what is it, the DTV visa? You have to be working remotely,
or have a bit. You can have a business as well, and
it's just it can't be a business based in Thailand. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, I work remotely as a children's therapist, and so that's how we're able to fund everything while we're living over here.
Excellent.
Which leads into this question: is health insurance?
Does the DTV require the digital nomad visa? I'm not going to use acronyms. Does your digital nomad visa have a insurance requirement? Oops,
he's going to fix the camera for a second. The DTV. I'm sorry. Did you say health? If it required medical insurance? Medical, okay. Did it? No, it didn't. It did not. However, to speak on that, we had what do we have? We had TRICARE, right? Which TRICARE can work here in Thailand because it's somewhat, because it's like military insurance,
right?
And so you're able to use it here. But before we left the US, I decided to, because I was transitioning out of the Air Force, we decided to just be done with TRICARE, and we decided to get safety wing medical insurance. So we do have medical insurance here, and which is safety wing. It's not working. Oh, I guess I'll keep going. We're trying to figure out the whole camera situation.
No problem.
We're probably going to have to use our other camera. But anyway, so we use Safety Wing, which has been actually amazing, honestly, because we literally had to use Safety Wing 3 days after we went to Bali, because unfortunately I got Bali belly, which was not fun. It was not fun at all. And so we had to use it 3 days after that, and they refunded us the full thing 5 days after. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, they refunded us fully 5 days after for the treatment. So I got a clinic to come to our the place that we're staying at, our Airbnb, and it was a house call IV treatment, which was incredible. They infused it with like probiotics, vitamins, this, that. It was the whole works. The nurse was amazing. She explained everything, all the vitamins and everything that she was doing. She gave me activated charcoal, all that good stuff, and everything came out to be, everything came out to be maybe 100 and you had to turn it properly. You probably have to bring it closer to us. Sorry. Yeah, tech issues.
No problem.
Yeah, Nate, we are living real life here.
Sorry, so tricky. But it's okay.
Come on a little closer so we see you in the screen.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
You can bring it closer, maybe. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, it's fine. It's fine if you have to move that. Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
I'm done.
It's a tech week over here.
Yeah. And so that was amazing. I mean, she explained everything, gave me some activated charcoal antibiotics or probiotics or whatever. And that was like 120 something US dollars for all of that. And I submitted my claim, and in like 5 days or something like that,
They reimbursed us.
they reimbursed
Fully.
me. Yeah, fully 100%. And then we used it again when I think baby boy, I don't know, he was getting acclimated with maybe the bacteria, I think, as well. And so we wanted to just be sure, so we took him to a pediatrician, which that experience was amazing. Like, it's like night and day. When I don't even really want to talk about the experience that we had when we had to take him to the emergency room in the US in Dallas. That was just, it was just
An all-nighter probably too.
Yeah, it was
It was
too much. Like, tell one person the information, then they get it and tell the next person. It was like, by the time we saw the doctor, 5 people knew it, and then they just kept asking us, "Well, what's going on?" And I'm like, at this point, man, I've been here for 45 minutes to see my son.
yeah, it was kind of frustrating because I didn't understand why we had to go. Like, okay, I understand we had to check in. We checked in, did the insurance thing, and then we sat down. Then we saw another person ask us the same thing. Then we sat down, and then they did his vitals, and then we went back there. I was like, okay, great, we're gonna see the doctor finally after 3 people, and then that wasn't the case. It was somebody else asking us the same thing,
Yep.
and then somebody else came asked us for our IDs again, even though we checked in at the front desk
Yeah, it was
with our IDs, and then somebody else yeah, we probably saw like 6 people at that point.
all to know he was constipated.
Yeah.
And I definitely do not miss those. When our daughter was little, I had to take her to emergency 2 different times. We spent,
Yeah.
she had an injury, and we sat in the waiting room for an hour before they took her to the room. She had another situation at night where she had put one of the little crafting beads in her nose. And we were in the
for 6 hours.
room. They took us to a room within 30 minutes, but we were in the room until morning before they saw her. And I was just like,
man.
she's got something in her nose. I just need you to come take it. And I don't miss that about. And this was at the Children's Hospital. This wasn't in the basic emergency room. This was at Children's Hospital.
Yeah, that's where we went to.
We went to Children's Hospital.
We went to Dallas Children's Hospital.
And in Bali, it was night and day, because as soon as we walked in, firstly, it didn't really look like a hospital. They were like, we weren't really sure where to check in, and as soon as we walked in, the nurse saw us, and he noticed that we were confused or lost, so we didn't know what to do. And he walked up to us, and he was like, "Is everything okay? What's going on?" And I told him, our baby. He immediately started checking him, like his vitals and everything. And then, without asking us to check in, like, "Oh, go check in." He made sure that baby was okay. And then he told us, "Okay, he seems fine, but go upstairs and check in." And we just checked in at the front desk. And
saw the pediatrician within 20 minutes.
Like 20-30 minutes, we saw the pediatrician. They gave us some medication. We literally went
around the corner,
picked up that same medication that he gave us. We didn't even have to go to like another pharmacy or anything. It was already ready. Mm-hmm. And we were out of there in like an hour or something. I'm like,
is that because you spoke Thai to them?
Ask that question. Was that it?
No, we were in Bali at that.
No. Okay. So were you able to speak the local language? Is that why the interaction was so smooth?
No, we spoke English.
The only thing we really know in Bali is really like basic stuff like "Hi, how are you?" and stuff like that. But no, they speak. What I find is the medical system, even here in Bangkok, a lot of the medical professionals, they speak really good English. Mm-hmm. And in Bali as well, they speak. Yeah, a lot of Bali people actually speak really good English. Yeah, so we never really have a major language barrier issue in Bali. It has always been great. Yeah. Even though we don't expect them to speak English, because we're technically in their
so I do break out Google Translate just if needed, but they always are speaking better English than I expect. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to ask you, what is your language level in terms of the Thai language? Is that something you're working on? Is that something you brought with you?
It's beginner level right now.
I would say beginner level. Actually, a lot of locals have been somewhat impressed with my Thai because
Mhm.
I've really been learning by immersion.
Mhm.
And I've been like studying a little bit before I came, and then while I'm here, I always try to practice
Mhm.
the basic stuff that the basic like words and sentences that I use on a regular basis. So I know how to like introduce myself, say what my name is, how are you doing today, what is this, so I try to learn things that I'm always going to ask, like, what is that, stuff like that. So it's a learning process because Thai is not easy to learn. It's like tones,
Yeah, it's very
like high
Correct.
tonal.
pitch,
Same
low pitch.
words with different tones mean
Yeah.
things completely different.
It's
Yeah.
and it's been a little harder for me because I'm more monotone than anything. So I had to learn to be a little bit more exaggerated if I say something. So,
Greta had a question about banking because I have concerns about
I'll be
banking
honest.
because of how you've got to pay your rent, you've got utilities. So, the movement of money or the ease of making those payments, um how is the banking part of your move been?
So right now
Yeah.
we have Wise, and so that's what we've been using to pay the rent and everything. So we can easily get it from our US account and send it over to the people who need it in Bangkok. Now we're
Mhm.
opening a bank account due to the visa, the digital nomad visa being so new. There are not many regulations when it comes to opening a bank account, so it's been kind of difficult.
We've
So
tried we've gone to so many
and
banks at this point.
I'm a part of like several Facebook groups, and so they, a lot of people in there have struggled with it as well. They said that they had to one day just visit 50 banks until one told them yes. And so that's one of the things that we have to, I guess, if we're serious about opening it, we're gonna have to just visit every single bank because one day one bank tells you no, and then you go back the next day and somebody's like, I went back the next day, they said, yeah, sure, we can open a bank account with the DTV visa. But every time when we go to banks, they're like, do you have a work permit? And then we're like, no. And then they
Correct.
say you can't open one. So,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they want you to have a work permit, or if you have certain, types of visas, like maybe the retirement
Yeah,
or
the
the
retirement visa,
prestigious one,
yeah.
whatever. I don't know.
But because they still view the DTV visa as a tourist visa, they think that, you're only gonna be here for just a short while. So why do you actually need a bank account over here? And I'm like, well, no, the visa is good for 5 years. I just have to leave every 6 months for a day, but that's not
Mhm.
like I'm still gonna be here.
Yeah. And so I would strongly recommend anybody who's, thinking about moving to Bangkok. I mean, having a bank account was a priority for us because I'm like, I want
Mhm.
our lives to be easier. Like if anything were to
Correct.
happen, with our
Correct.
account, like I want us to have a local bank. We can just go in, pull our money out, get a new debit card, stuff like that. But the
Mhm.
Mhm.
process has been so difficult, unfortunately. However, prior to leaving, this is what I would suggest before you go to any country. At least get the Wise debit card. Sometimes it's on
Mhm.
hold, it depends, but there's an app you can easily transfer money from different places to
Mhm.
that Wise app. You can pay people, and a lot of people in this region actually accept Wise payments. They have like
Mhm.
Wise accounts, and so
Mhm.
in Bali we were able to use it as well to pay
Laundry,
for laundry, like
everything.
certain
Good.
restaurants. If we didn't end up with cash and we didn't know that they didn't
Take cards.
they didn't take cards, we were able to like do that Wise transfer.
Okay, good.
So that has been a lifesaver for us for a lot of places.
Yeah, but
I'm just
we
having that additional debit card.
but
Yep.
we do want to get a bank account in Bangkok because a lot of places around here they use a QR payment, and
Mhm.
in order to use QR payment, you need a Bangkok bank account. So we're gonna get one soon. I'm just gonna
It's
do it.
it's one of the reasons why, I mean, well, we're eligible for the retirement visa. And so because it's age 50 is the retirement visa age in Bangkok,
Mhm.
I'm going to probably go ahead and um, get the facilitator that we're working with to come on. But a facilitator also can help you
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
streamline the process of finding what banks are able to use, I mean, to accept you, or they've developed a relationship with the bank where they've explained the digital nomad visa. So, and when they bring you in, you're more likely to get seen, and because they've got that relationship. So a lot of things you can do in the move abroad process yourself, but as we're saying, you're either leveraging money by hiring a facilitator, or you're leveraging your time. And if you've
Yep.
got the time to go to those banks, then definitely utilize time over money. So there definitely is a trade-off. I know it's getting to be super late where you are.
This is my last question.
Oh, it's okay. We have all night. I mean, the boy's sleeping, and this is fun.
Hey,
This is fun.
that's why you don't have all night. Here's my last question. I'm trying to figure out how best to craft it. So when we do these conversations and we're talking to Black people who are moved abroad, or people of color who moved abroad, the assumption is sometimes things are okay. I know you all have been there a short time, and so you may still be in the
Honeymoon.
country honeymoon phase of it. There are, especially being in Asia, I said at the top of this, and I think that there's a lot of connection between people of African descent and people of Asian descent. But at the same time, I know that there's been, in some countries of Asia, Southeast Asia, there's been
Not accepting Black culture.
perceived discrimination or a misunderstanding of Black culture, or,
Disrespect.
Sometimes disrespect. Sometimes it's I think they tolerate us because they're known to be nice, but do they really want me here? What's the energy? What's the vibe? What's the connection you're making with the people, both as a couple, but Raymond, particularly as a Black man, because I still think that Black women are exotic in the world. And I think they can land in any space they want to live in, and everybody be glad they're there. Black men come with stereotypes. I don't care what anybody says, because we're seen in the media world differently. How has that interaction been so far?
Well, as a couple, it's been good. Yeah. When you say?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I've been walking out at night and everything, and I don't feel like anyone has like judged me or anything. And I feel like people are actually more open coming up and talking to me than anything. I do get a lot of stares, of course, because I'm tall. So I'm like 6'4", so they're always looking at me because I'm not, no stereotype, but Thai people are a little shorter.
Yeah.
And so I do get a lot of stares, but the stares don't feel uncomfortable or like racist, I would say. Like, I feel like it's more like, oh, where is he from? And then it's more of a conversation of, who are you? Where are you from? It's a friendly conversation of getting to know me, rather than judging me. It's like, oh, I'm a Black man, and all these stereotypes about Black people. And so I've actually enjoyed it being here. Enjoy like meeting new people and talking when I do. My social anxiety has kicked in because it's when it comes to speaking another language. So sometimes I get a little in my head about it, but it's still been good. Like, I haven't really, I feel like I have a spirit of discernment, and I feel like I've never felt anyone being, judgmental or racist towards me or anything like that.
Yeah, and I feel the interactions that I've had as well, and even like together, it's been good. I feel like it's been really good, and I always try my best to like immerse myself into the culture. Like, I always take the initiative to like speak Thai, at least. He laugh at me sometimes and shake his head like, why are you asking that? But I'm like practicing my Thai as I go while I'm being polite. And I feel like Thai people enjoy that. Like, they love to see that you're like trying to learn the local language and everything.
Yeah.
But it's been good. Like, even in our neighborhood, like, this is the most, we were talking about this the other day, like, this is the most that we have interacted with like neighbors and stuff. The short time that we've been here, I don't know, 3 weeks or something in this neighborhood, comparing to the 3 years that we've been in Dallas, like how many times we've spoken to a neighbor.
Mhm.
And that blew my mind. Like we always have conversation, and like the security out here, he's always trying to have some conversation with
He's
us.
speaking in Thai. We can't
Speaking-
understand him, but
He's asking for the baby, asking how's the baby, the neighbors, and
mhm.
there's a group of ladies that always come around the corner to our neighbor here, and
Yeah.
they have like a little baby next door and everything. And I think the nanny always takes the little boy as well around, and they always look forward to seeing our baby boy playing in the mornings, like through the window, because they're always like out in the front of our yard, just squatting and looking like, oh, baby boy. It's just such a sense of community here.
Mhm.
The interactions that we have here with our neighbors and just people is so pure. It's been good. It's really been a great experience. I find we had to get used to, because I can overthink sometimes, like people, I try to read too much into people's like facial expression all the time. And so what we found here is people look really, really serious. Like they're so focused. And so in my head, I'm like, I guess they don't like me or something, But what we found is that Thai people, first of all, they mind their business. They mind their business. They're not bothering them. They're not worried about you, But there's a lot of times because they're focused, and it's like by the time you give a smile and say
hey.
sawadee ka, hi, whichever,
I was gonna say so.
they light up.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that is because they're like just focused. They're like minding their business, whether they're walking their dog, they're probably thinking about something. They're not really worried about you or judging you, So
Yeah,
that has been a learning process, but yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna take Tanisia's question as our last. Would you consider Thailand, Bangkok specifically, to be a soft landing where you can find housing, find community, find the things that you need to live your daily life reasonably easy, to integrate? Maybe not language. Thai is probably, when I was looking at the scale of languages, it's one of the more difficult. But overall, would you say that Bangkok, Thailand, is a soft landing if you are new to the move abroad process?
Yeah.
You want to answer?
Yes, I would say it is. It was really easy to find everything, and just being able to like go around and see like there's things easily available, like just necessary resources and everything that you would like. There are some things in the US that aren't here, but I just feel like I don't really miss them. Like like one of the things was, before I left the US, I was just walking around Walmart because I was like, man, there's never gonna be another Walmart over here. I'm not gonna be able to just go into Walmart anymore. But then when I got over here, I'm like, oh well, they have 7-Eleven, and 7-Eleven pretty much sells everything. Like everything that you would need. So I'm just like, I don't really need a Walmart. And then it's like, if I need fruits and veggies, there's the market. Even if I walk down the street, there's a street vendor selling veggies if I really want to get it from him. Or there's still grocery stores and supermarkets and everything. So I'm like, oh, everything that I thought I was gonna miss when I came over here is so easily available, and it's even much more affordable than when it was when I was over in the US.
And I think even
in the big mall,
available, more accessible here, because in the US, most places you're gonna need a car just to go to the Walmart. Like the farmers market is like a luxury in the US. It's like it only happens on certain days or whatever. Like here, it's a way of life.
Every day.
It's literally a way of life. Down the street, you can go get some fresh produce or whatever.
Every day.
Yeah, every single day. And so that's what I absolutely love about Bangkok. Like, we are not lacking anything. Like, as soon as we walk out of this community, there's a little store, like a not a grocery store. No, it's like a store that sells like hygiene stuff, laundry detergent, all that stuff. And then if you walk a little bit further, there's there's an even bigger one. It's like a grocery store. Then there's a 7-Eleven across the street. Then there's a farmer's market. So it's like you don't need a car. Everything is just so accessible. So that's what I love about here. And then also, let's not talk about the malls here,
Oh,
right?
man. The malls,
That was-
there are
The
malls.
malls are ridiculous.
Yeah, and there's a mall in every
district.
district, and the biggest one, I think
Siam.
we haven't been to it since we've been here now, but when
This
we
time.
first came here, we went to Siam Mall, and when
Okay.
we went downstairs to where the restaurants were, there were
Food
over
court.
400 restaurants
Yeah.
in there. And so at some point, I think we were just like, okay, where do we eat it? Because we were just walking around like, okay, we have to choose a spot at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then today, of course, we went to the weekend market, and they have I was able to fill up. I feel like I was able to get all my clothes, like fill up my wardrobe again, and it was half the price. Well, actually, it was a quarter of the price. Because when we were in the U.S., we went to Tommy Hilfiger, and I bought everything, and it was like $700. Here, I've gotten 4 outfits, and I feel like it's only came up to maybe 60.
No, you got 6 shirts and like three like full.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got
fill
like
up my wardrobe.
yeah, you got a good bit of stuff.
Yes, and it was like $60. I'm like, that's great, because I was like 700 was way too much.
Yeah.
And so even at the weekend market, there, they say they have over 15,000 vendors there, so you can find pretty much everything there for a cheaper price too. So
True
Yeah.
confession. I think that's one of my. I'm confessing it here live. It's probably one of my secret desires about moving abroad is like going down to the market every day, getting a new set of something, and coming home and cooking that.
Yes.
Finding clothes that fit me that I can afford.
Now you have to consider something that Raymond said.
What's that?
All sizes
I get that.
are not available.
I get that,
because
but
they are small people.
But if he's
and they
6'4",
are small people.
if he's 6'4" and he can find clothes, then then my less than 6'4" self can find some clothes.
The shoes may be another
I wear
thing.
a 10, and I know Thai women do not have a size 10.
Yeah, the shoes are a little bit different. Like I was able to find some good shoes, but I feel like it does take a little bit longer to find the right size, because I wear a size 11, and the feet are a little smaller here.
I've always had that problem. I wear size 11 too, but I'm a AAA. I'm a very narrow foot. So I've always my life have problems finding shoes. So that's not even I know when I'm gonna find shoes, I'm gonna order them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, some people don't like Temu, but there's Temu Thailand. So you can actually still order from Temu as well.
And you can also order from Lazada. Lazada is basically Amazon over here, and things are relatively cheaper, inexpensive, and still good quality. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say, and then you guys can add to our list. So we're always talking about how great these places are that we're bringing on to our channel. Thailand is not for everyone. And so we've kind of touched on a few things. So I'll pull those things forward, like the heat, like the pollution. At certain points of the year, you may want, sometimes it's easy or not easy to get banking, depending on your visa type. And
language challenges.
the language may also be another reason why Thailand itself may not be for you. Anything else you might want to have people consider, if you are set on this may not be your place.
I'm trying to think. The weather, we talked about that. The language. I'm trying to think. I guess one of the things I know some people are set on living in a place where they don't look different. Like there's a lot of people who prefer to live in a country where they don't stand out, So I mean, that's an obvious, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Other than that, I'm trying to really think because I don't want to be biased because I love Thailand so much.
Yeah, that's what I just said. So you actually, they just got there. They're in love. So
Yeah.
there are some.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really do hope that I feel the same way, like 6 months down the line, a year down the line, 2 years down the line. But we have been here before, and we've been. I mean, I really do believe that this is the place that I could see us at least for maybe 2 years, at
Mhm.
least.
Mhm.
I really believe so, but we'll see. Anything else that you can think of?
I mean, I guess if you're set on driving yourself, and that- this probably isn't
Oh,
the
you
place
have to
to.
get a driver's license.
Yeah, because they drive different over here, so it's a little bit more aggressive. uh, so if you're set on driving yourself and you're willing to be, I guess, an aggressive driver, I guess you can make it work. But I mean, I just prefer to get someone else to drive for me. I ain't trying to make no mistakes. Got
Yes.
some Thai person cursing me out in Thai, and I don't know what they say.
Thank you guys so much. I mean, thank you to the audience that had great questions for us today. You guys have been really transparent about what it's like to decide. The US is USing in all of its, different political and social and, you know, the constraints that we're really feeling financially, and that there are so many other places in the world where you can make your life the center and not work and not worries and concerns about a lot of the things that we're concerned about or that are in the news every day here in the US. So I really appreciate you helping us to give a different perspective on you can make the move with a young child. You can talk to your partner and navigate where you want to live together in the world and find individual reasons why these are good places for you and then why it works for you as a couple. And then when it's time to go, you've reassessed and can make those moves. So I just, if you are joining us later, which I can see a lot of people are, you want to go back and watch this from the beginning, because
Absolutely.
Shaivivia and Raymond have really opened Bangkok to us, Southeast Asia, their adventure to us. And so you can follow their journey where? Because I think it's Shaivivia
Yeah,
Impress.
yeah.
I put that in the description, but where else can we follow your journey?
You can follow my journey on Facebook as well, the same name, Shy Be Video Impress, Facebook and also Instagram. I realize that I post a lot more like lifestyle, family stuff more on my Facebook, but I'm getting to doing that more again on Instagram. Instagram was kind of like more business stuff, but yeah, over on Instagram at Shanice_Bryant.
That was the
Yeah,
Shanice.
the Shanice SHENICE_Bryant. But yeah, you can find me over on Facebook as well, and you'll have that link as well to my Instagram page over on Facebook. Yeah, and you said, I want to say something. You said something very interesting earlier, like you were talking about, all the different things with the US and all of that stuff. And I would say that, even though it's not the easiest, I won't say everything is perfect here, right? It's been great here, but I won't say everything is perfect. But what I will say is that whatever hard or challenges, that we've faced here or will face in the future, because, hey, we will face our challenges. But I will choose this hard over the US hard. Like, and sometimes in life, you just have to choose your heart. Like,
Yes.
what are, think about the pros and cons, think about your non-negotiables, right? Think about your priorities, what's important to you. And so for us, when we thought about all those things, it just made sense. It made sense. Yeah.
We are so grateful to have you here today with us. Thank you. If you're watching us in the future, please make some comments in the comment section. Hit hashtag replay gang. We are Miss D and Herman of H&D Abroad.
Don't forget to like this video if you're joining us.
Please stop and like the video. You're right here.
Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe and follow Shaibivia and Raymond. And we are here to celebrate the Black expat, Black immigrant journey. But at whatever phase or stage of life you're in, there's somewhere in the world for you that is affordable, that is accepting of you, that doesn't profile you, and that you can truly live a full and productive life. Get out there and do it. Start today. Today, it can be your start date. Bye for now.
Y'all have a good one.